welcome to This Week in East Brunswick. This week we welcomed the first day of spring, and that means all kinds of activities are just around the corner. The Daisy Fair, for example, will be held Memorial Day weekend, but this week participants gathered to show everyone what to expect. The high school's annual spring play is coming up. This year, Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream challenges student actors. All of these stories and more are coming up, including part 2 of our visit to the Agricultural Museum of New Jersey. This time, Director John Sinclair highlights several farm implements currently on display. We'll also find out about the American Cancer Society and what services they offer. And we'll have a review of Monday night's council meeting. Before we look at those stories, here's a rundown of the Channel 8 program schedule for next week. On Monday morning, Lenore Kulik shows how to firm major muscle groups on Look Great, Feel Great at 10 o'clock. At 10:30, 4-year-olds learn about the magic of springtime on Stories from the Library. Tuesday's schedule includes In Print, a program about books and authors produced by the City of Beverly Hills. That's at 7 o'clock, and at 7:30, John Magliaro and guest Bud Heilman, Assistant Athletic Director at Rutgers, updates sports at the university on Sports Talk. On Wednesday night at 7:30, Dolly Basta introduces the Devlins and the Berenstains, two couples who delight children all over the world with their famous books. That's on For Art's Sake. At 8 o'clock, The Arts this month features New Jersey designer craftsmen and their work. Thursday night, This Week in East Brunswick returns at 7 and 8, and in between at 7:30, Patty Sullivan talks to families of military service personnel on aging aspects. Be sure to tune in to the Channel 8 Community Bulletin Board for announcements of upcoming local events and for the Channel 8 program schedule.
Hi, I'm Ronnie Wisniewski, Chairman of the Daisy Spring Fair. We're at the Middlesex County Fairgrounds here in East Brunswick, New Jersey. On my right side here, I have Will Boyce, Balloon Meister, and Moonshadows Balloon Club. We're going to have balloons at the Daisy Fair the whole week, May 22nd through the 27th, and Will's going to tell us a little bit about it.
Right. Well, Ron, on the 22nd, what we're going to do is we're going to start out with tether rides at the fairgrounds.
Right.
And we'll be open to the public, be selling rides to the public. Everyone can come up and get a ride. We do that Wednesday, Thursday, and we'll be doing it every day of the week, in fact, while I'm thinking about it.
Okay.
But on Friday evening, we're going to have a moon glow. And what we're going to have is the balloons in the dark, they're going to light up.
Wow.
And they're just beautiful. It's a big orange ball.
Sure.
The colors at night are spectacular. They're breathtaking. Everybody has to come out and see that.
Sure.
And on Saturday night, we're going to have a balloon race. Okay. The hare balloon will go out, and he'll lay out a target. And the rest of the following balloons will chase, and they'll throw beanbags at the target, and they'll determine their position in the race. We're going to do that Saturday and Sunday night, balloon races.
Okay.
So the balloon glow is Friday night, and the race is Saturday and Sunday. And the rest of the time, we're going to have a balloon at the fair for everybody to look at, come get a little tether ride, and talk to the pilots.
Great. It's going to be a great week here in East Brunswick. Anybody in the listening audience can be a sponsor. You can have your name on the balloon, a corporate sponsor such as the Chateau or a Provident Bank or whatever. Get your name on a balloon. It'll stay on the balloon for the weekend of the fair. There will be balloon rides. Singer, entertainer Patty Loveless will be here at the fair on Sunday. Saturday there's a rock and roll concert. The Corvette Club from South River is here. There's 15 amusement rides, plenty of food. It promises to be a great week. So we hope to see you all at the Daisy Spring Fair, May 22nd to the 27th.
In addition to the hot air balloons at the Daisy Fair, there will be a car show featuring the Spirit of 53 Corvette Club. Ron Wisniewski introduces the coordinators.
Along with me here is Howard, the chairman of the Spirit of 53 Corvette Club for this event, Rich DeSimone, the president, my son-in-law Craig, the chairman of the Daisy end of it. We're all here to promote a good cause for our kids in town and hope to see you all at the fair. Thanks a lot.
Anne-Marie Anderson. Joining us today on This Week in East Brunswick is Rita Perlman, Program Director of the Middlesex County American Cancer Society, and Dr. Kathleen Toomey, oncologist with a private practice in Somerset. Thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
Thank you. There are a lot of services being offered with relation to cancer services that's offered through the American Cancer Society. Can you talk about some of those services?
Sure. It's very important to make cancer patients and their families aware of the free services that we offer, and I specifically accentuate free because they really are free, and people should make themselves aware of these. Some of the services that we offer is a program called Road to Recovery, where we have wonderful volunteers who volunteer their time. A lot of them are retired and they're looking for something to do to help other people. And they transport cancer patients back and forth to their chemotherapy treatments or their radiation treatments or their physician, people who have no way of getting there otherwise. And these drivers are wonderful.
And we're always looking for new drivers.
Yes, we're always looking for new drivers, that's true. And we're always looking for volunteers in any capacity. And I can touch on that a little bit later. Another wonderful program is a program called Reach to Recovery. This is for women who have had breast surgery and need to talk to other women who have had similar surgery in the past. Because sometimes women become depressed or they're feeling low self-esteem, and they need to talk to somebody who has had this similar surgery, who is functioning and going back to work and is leading a normal life. So this is a very, very successful program. The doctor has to recommend that the patient, while she's in the hospital, can have this visitor come. If the doctor does not recommend it, the cancer patient can call us when they get home after their breast surgery, and we will send a volunteer to their home. Another group is called I Can Cope. This is a service that we offer for cancer patients and their families and friends, where they come to hear a speaker such as Dr. Toomey, or maybe a plastic surgeon, or somebody on nutrition, helping them cope with their illness and giving their families a broader understanding of what they're going through. And again, I must accentuate that all these programs are free.
So there are a lot of support services
yes.
for people who may otherwise feel very isolated and not know which direction to go.
Very much so. Sometimes cancer patients can't always feel that they can ask their doctors the same questions that they can ask somebody from the Cancer Society or the speaker that's speaking, or maybe other cancer patients that have had similar cancer. And the other program that is similar to that is Cancer Mount, where an ex-cancer patient, perhaps who has had colon cancer and is a recovering cancer patient, will go to speak to a patient who is newly diagnosed and talk with them, so that they have some kind of rapport and know that they're going to make it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, what about, I believe you have something called Loan Closet?
Yeah, the Loan Closet is a wonderful, we call it Loan Closet because we have everything in that Loan Closet. We have wheelchairs for loan, beds, shower chairs, canes, anything that the cancer patient needs to help them in their time of crisis. Incontinent diapers, anything like that.
Okay, and other support services, you do training for corporations and...
I think one of the big part is lay public education, so that corporations might request one of us to come in and give a talk about breast cancer or colon cancer or cancers in women, or about stopping smoking. The Cancer Society has a very important program called Fresh Start, in which people who have quit smoking help others to quit.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so sometimes the best advice are from people who've been there.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And you said you need volunteers once more?
Yes, we're always recruiting volunteers in any capacity, whether they want to do lay education programs or perhaps drive a cancer patient if you have some extra time, or if you are a recovering cancer patient and you want to you know, be a pal, so to speak, to somebody that's newly diagnosed, we certainly can use them.
And for more information?
For more information, they can call our office at 985-9566.
Okay, thank you for being with us.
You're welcome.
Hi, I'm Amy Fisher, Director of Community Relations for the school system. Today I'm in the East Brunswick High School auditorium with Charles French, the drama coach.
Hi, how are you?
Good. You're about to embark on a very ambitious endeavor. Could you tell us about it?
Yes, I can. We're going to be presenting William Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream. I realize this is pretty unusual for a high school production, but we did The Importance of Being Earnest in the fall, and that in itself is a very difficult show for this age level, and they responded so well that I wanted to follow it up with an even bigger challenge, something that they could do and be excited about, and also once they've done it, they've probably performed in something that I doubt if 10 of the high schools in the nation have ever done.
How long have you been rehearsing for this?
We're into our third month now.
How many people are in the cast?
I believe it's 22, it might be 23.
Do you feel as though things are going real well with the rehearsals?
Yes, I do. As with any play, there are always glitches that happen, but everybody's been working hard. I've had students staying very late hours working on the sets. Everybody's been working very, very hard to do it, and they've been responding to the language, which was the thing I was most worried about, but they just stepped into it right away.
That's one thing that people say about Shakespearean actors, that they have to get into the rhythm of the language, and you find your students are doing that.
Yes, I had some ideas planned for lessons on iambic pentameter, but they seem to have responded so well to the poetry that I haven't done it because I was afraid of taking away what they had, because they're doing a very nice job with it.
Tell us when the performances will be.
Okay, it's Friday and Saturday, March 22nd and 23rd, here at the high school auditorium at 7:30. The price for admission is $3 for general admission, $2 for students, and senior citizens are free.
Great. And tickets are available at the door?
Yes, they are.
Well, we'll hope everybody comes to see your play, and good luck.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I see their knavery. This is to make an ass of me, to frighten me if they could. But I will not stare from this place. Do what they can. I'll walk up and down here and we'll sing, that they shall hear that I'm not afraid. The wool's old cock so black of hue, with thorns tawny bill, the throstle with his note so true, the wren with little quill.
What angel wakes me from my flowery bed?
The finch, the sparrow, and the lark, the plain song cuckoo gray, whose note full many a man doth mark, but dares not answer nay.
I pray thee, gentle mortal, sing again. Mine ear is much enamored of thy note, and so is thine eye enthralled to thine shape. And thy fair virtue's force perforce doth move me on the first view to say, to swear I love thee.
Oh, methinks, mistress, you should have little reason for that. And yet, to say the truth, reason and love keep a little company together nowadays. The more the chance that some honest neighbors will not make them friends stay hiking bleak upon occasion.
Thou art wise as thou art beautiful.
Ah, not so neither, but if I had enough wit to get out of this wood, I have enough to serve mine own turn.
Out of this wood do not desire to go. Thou shalt stay here whether thou wilt or no. I am a spirit of no common race. The summer still doth tend upon my state, and I do love thee. Therefore go with me, and I will give thee fairies to attend on thee, and they shall fetch thee jewels from the deep, while thou on pressed flowers dost sleep. And I will purge thy mortal grossness so, that thou shalt like an airy spirit go. Fairies, peas blossom, cobweb, moth, mustard seed. Ready, and I. Where shall we go? Be kind and courteous to this gentleman. Hop in his walks and gamble in his eyes. Feed him with apricots and dewberries, purple grapes, green figs, and mulberries. And pluck the wings from painted butterflies to fan the moonbeams from his sleeping eyes. Nod to him, elves, and do him courtesies. Hail! Hail! Hail!
I cry your worship's mercy. I beseech your worship's name.
Cobweb!
Cobweb! Good Master Cobweb, if I prick my finger, I shall make bold with you. Your name, honest gentleman?
Peas blossom.
Peas blossom. Oh, pray commend me to your father, Master Peascod Peas blossom. I wish to make of you more acquaintance, too. Your name, honest gentleman?
Mustard seed.
Mustard seed. Oh, good Master Mustard seed. I want to make a good acquaintance of you, too.
Oh, come wait upon him. Lead him to my bower. The moon, methinks, looks on with a watery eye. And when she weeps every little flower, lamenting some enforced chastity. Tie up my love's tongue, bring him silently.
Cloudy with a few sunny breaks and not as warm tomorrow with a high of 53.
You are watching a man have a heart attack.
Mom, your breakfast is ready.
He's hoping it's nothing, but he knows the signs.
Oh, what do we need to be hungry?
Hi, gang.
Here's your juice, Dad.
Oh, thanks, sweetie.
Hey, you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine.
And now is the time he should be getting help.
Call me later, okay?
Yeah.
Getting to the hospital at the first signs of an attack can save your life.
Need your help. Better get me to a hospital.
Remember, your life is in your hands.
Hi, I'm John Sinclair, and we're at the Agricultural Museum of New Jersey. Today we're standing in what I call the Hall of Really Big Farm Stuff. And there are a lot of very interesting implements here, but one of the best stories is told by some of the simpler implements, the plows around the outside. The first plow you'll see is a wooden tobacco plow, and it's interesting to know that most plows in early America began as wooden implements. A fellow, Charles Newbold, patented the first cast iron plow and promptly went broke because farmers believed that the cast iron plow would poison the soil and refused to buy it. Shortly after that, another man bought all the patents from Charles Newbold and began successfully marketing cast iron plows. And as you look around the room, you'll see a variety of plows with different ideas, and it's a real interesting story, both about America and about ourselves as people. Buying a plow to an early farmer was roughly akin to buying a car for someone today, and yet these farmers were willing to tinker after dark in the tool shed with a lantern, adding pieces and taking pieces away and welding new pieces onto their plows and making them work exactly the way they needed to for their particular crop. It's kind of hard to imagine someone buying a Volkswagen today and ripping out the back seat and putting in half a sofa just to see how it would look, but that's what these people did, and that's how America progressed. It's interesting, too, that maybe they weren't so far off base in believing that the cast iron plow might poison the soil, because there's a long-running controversy that says plowing may be the worst thing that we've ever done to America. Plowing may have been responsible for the Dust Bowl. The alternative means of agriculture weren't used then, and the result was an agricultural and an economic tragedy. Just as interesting are some of the other big machines here, and we've got these sorted out by crops. You know, the story of the development of the plows applies to almost every part of agriculture. One thing people relate really well to is the planting and harvesting of corn, and initially corn was nothing more than scratching a row of dirt with a stick and putting the seeds in and kicking it in the soil back over the seeds. This is one of the first improvements, an automatic corn planter. Using this implement, you would load the corn seed into the pocket here, and walking through a plowed field, you could push it into the soil, open it up, the seed would drop through the tube, down into the soil, open the hole back up, and close it with your foot. It's a great idea, but imagine doing 20 acres of corn that way. The next step then was to double the process. This will plant 2 seeds at once. We're getting automated. Now this implement combines several operations. Working into a plowed field, the blade down here opens up the soil. The seeds drop through a mechanical wheel here at a very precise interval. The double plow back here pushes the soil back over the seeds and covers it up. And so in this way, you can have an animal pulling the implement through the field and planting the corn very quickly as you go along. One thing that's real important, though, and probably the most important story in the museum, is that all of these implements were designed to suit the plants. The real story of agriculture is the plants. And one of the things that you'll find here at the museum is a devotion to studying the development of plants from the Native Americans, who were superb geneticists, all the way up to the present, creating new plant life in the laboratory and new animal life in the laboratory and putting it out on the market as marketable produce. This museum then tracks the development of an American industry and an American way of life from the very earliest roots up to the present. And we'd love to have you come out and take a look at it and come back again in 6 months and a year and see how we've changed it and see what we've added and see what you can learn while you're here. In fact, if you'd like, you can come and volunteer. You can help fix up the implements. You can help us find new implements or run the office or run the counter. It's a terrific place to be. And again, we'd love to have you come back out.
Hi, I'm Dolly Vasta with a very exciting Playhouse 22 Arts Update. A few weeks back, the Playhouse took a survey of all its audiences and found a very interesting fact. We get a huge audience from the ages 45 and up, and for our children's programs, we get an enormous audience from 15 and down. But somehow, there's a great audience out there between 15 and 45. We put our heads together at one of our board meetings and decided that what we needed was maybe a broader-based programming. And we have the most exciting concert coming up for you. It's on April 6th at the Playhouse at 8 o'clock at night. We have international R&B singing star Frankie Lee. Now, maybe a couple of you remember either last year or the year before, I had Frankie on one of his tours through the East here on my television show, and we had a wonderful time. He's truly, truly talented with he and his backup group. So let me read some of his accolades. Frankie Lee has been rocking West Coast audiences for more than a decade. Listeners should expect some fireworks, and that's from the New York Times. Another one is, Frankie Lee is one of the most energetic blues voices of any time or place. New York Daily News. And here at the Monterey Blues Festival in 1988, singer Frankie Lee jolted the audience by giving a performance as hot as the noonday sun.
Let them all hang out. I want everybody. If you get that feeling, 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 let it all hang out. Everybody, turn up, stand up on your feet. Stand up on your feet.
So, don't forget, for all of you out there, all ages, April 6th, 8 o'clock p.m., $10 admission fee. Call the box office, 254-3939 to see Frankie Lee R&B at its best. Take care, and I'll see you.
At Monday night's council agenda meeting, Captain Otto Schwarp requested money from the council to replace the computer system used by the police department. The existing system was purchased in 1987. However, because of problems with the computer, the department estimates that it won't last much longer.
Basically, I think the only statement I want to make is our computer system present is totally inadequate, and it's really causing us so much downtime that it's almost impossible anymore to operate with it.
Council members questioned why this wasn't included in the original 1991 budget, and Jack Coughlin, Township Administrator, explained.
And the reason, in fact, that Captain Schwarp is here tonight is that that had not been previously included, and even though we could have put it in the capital budget, right, I felt an obligation to come back to council because it had not been under council review.
Jack Coughlin suggested that the township attorney prepare a bond ordinance to clarify funding and to be placed on the agenda for next Monday's council action meeting. Also at Monday's meeting, in response to a request by Mayor Jackson Agra, public safety officials recommended no changes in existing ordinances concerning the use of firearms. In December, several residents complained of hearing gunshots near their homes and asked the mayor to look into the matter. After a study of the current zoning, officials stated that the laws are still effective. Residents were concerned that people were hunting too closely to their property. East Brunswick law prohibits the discharge of firearms within 600 feet of any area where people or animals usually congregate. The township law is more strict than the state's mandate of a 450-foot buffer zone. Safety officials feel that the current ordinances are adequate and do recommend that residents and hunters should be made aware of the ordinance for better understanding. The council agreed that the matter should continue to be reviewed, and a decision about adapting the ordinances will be made at a later date. In other council news, Councilmember David Zarnowski questioned the validity and necessity of the method used by the township to reimburse municipal employees for travel expenses. The system currently used was developed in the 1970s and provides the maximum allowance of 56 cents per mile in travel reimbursement. Also in question is the use of township cars by department heads and administrators. The council will review current policy for discussion at the April 1st agenda meeting. That's all for now. Thanks for watching.